Ohio is, of course, a battleground state that many observers, indeed most observers, say Donald Trump must have to win this election. But can he do it? Cleveland.com's Andrew Tobias is covering the election in Ohio, and he joins us now. Hello, Andrew. Thanks for doing this. What are you seeing out there?
Well, Donald Trump was in Cleveland today, which is kind of weirdly enough the second time this week. I think that lets us know that the election is on and that it's really heating up. But he gave a speech that focused on education policy. He appeared at a charter school on the east side of Cleveland, which is predominantly African American. He argued for an expansion of what advocates call school choice, which basically refers to things like private school vouchers, charter schools, things like that. And it was a fairly conventional Republican speech. It's an argument that the Republicans have made for a while, that it's a policy that can help urban voters. And so I think it's both him kind of being present here in Ohio and I think also trying to, I guess, orient his agenda around more urban-focused issues.
Based upon what you're seeing in his campaign now and knowing the state as you do, does he seem to you to be doing the things that he needs to do to gain ground in Ohio?
I think the real question that people are going to have here is whether his ground game is going to be sufficient. That's kind of trite, I guess, to talk about the ground game in politics. But in Ohio, it always comes down to a few percentage points, less than 2 the last time around. And so things like having an effective network of volunteers that you can reach out to and staff and things along those lines can make the difference in a really close race. So I think that
they certainly can. They certainly have in Ohio in the past. Mrs. Clinton has a significant ground game, I guess, there that she's built on her own and in many other states as well. Mr. Trump has not emphasized that very much. He's relying on the Republican Party. From what you're seeing on the ground there, what about it?
I think Trump has a message that can resonate here. I think he can win as a candidate. I think that Hillary Clinton is
but what about the ground game? Does Trump have any? I mean, the RNC is going to try to do it for him. Will that be enough in your judgment?
I think that his message is strong enough that he might be able to drag over the finish line. But again, he's just at a disadvantage. And the RNC's data they're going to be able to provide him, for example, to help identify voters that can be motivated, it can work. I think that we're seeing a campaign that's kind of playing out this way that we've never really seen before. So again, I think that just the blocking and tackling advantages goes to Hillary Clinton, but I think she's a flawed candidate. And if Donald Trump can effectively mount, I guess, a message that runs against that, I think that he can still win. But I do think that it'll be in spite of some of the disadvantages he has from just a structural standpoint.
So you really think he's got a better than even chance?
I would still, if I had to bet, I think that Hillary Clinton will win. It'll be close, but again, I'm not going to bet against Donald Trump. I said if I had to bet, and I'm not, so I'm not going to.
Yeah. Well, you're in good company, Andrew, because a lot of journalists bet against him from the start, and were proven wrong. So anyway, thanks very much, Andrew. Thanks for coming on.